Sorry. Okay. Hello, everyone. Today I'm gonna tell you about my report, what I've been doing with my homework. First, um, let me introduce myself. My name is Benai Josrael Tualangi. My student number is 2023-32044, and I'm from System Information major, and I'm also from class A. Okay, let's just start with my work. Um, the first and the second question is, what is the difference between stateless widget and stateful widget, and what its purpose? Okay, stateless widget is a widget that are immutable. Its configuration is fixed upon creation and never changed during the app's life cycle. It has no internal state to manage. So what it is for? It used for a static content like a logo, a content stack label, or decorative icon. And then what is stateful widget? Is a widget that dynamic. It manages an internal state object that can be updated in response to user input or external data change. Updates are controlled by set state method, which force a UI rebuild. So the purpose is for interactive components such as login form, counters, checkbox, or anything that change appearance based on user action. Okay, next we have define a widget. What is a widget? A widget is the fundamental building block of every Flutter application. Essentially, everything you see or even the space between what you see is a widget. They are declarative blueprint that describe how a part of the user interface should look at any given moment, and they compose of a hierarchy known as the widget tree. So how do we make simple layout? Layout is achieved through widget composition. We use directional widget to control placement. The scaffold widget provide the screen structure like the app bar and body. Row arrange component horizontally. Columns widget arrange component vertically. We use property like main axis alignment and utility widget like padding and sizebox to control alignment and spacing precisely. And then the last one is, what is the difference between hot reload and hot restart? This feature defines Flutter rapid development cycle. For the hot reload, it injects update code into the running Dart virtual machine and rebuild the widget tree, crucially preserving the application current state. It's used for a quick visual tweaks, adjusting color, padding, or fixing minor logic error. It's near instantaneous. And then for the hot restart, it destroy the old VM and fully restart the application, resetting all application state back to its initial condition. So it is used when changing global variable, application startup logic, example like inside main or in init state, or when hot reload fail to apply the necessary change. Okay. Here we have my code for the login page, for the login form. Now, this is the final application code to understand extract architecture and implementation design. Okay, here we have let's jump into line number 3 and 4, which is void main RAM app counts my app. It's the application entry point initiating the Flutter rendering process with the my app widget. Then we have the here counts in deep blue color, define the custom brand color, deep blue, centralizing the visual identify of the application. Okay, After that, we have line number 14 to 19. It set the root context for the material design and applies the global theme data to ensure color consistency across all the widget. Okay, we have number 19, use material. It's true. It enabled the modern material tree design system. After that, we have color scheme. It line number 20 to 22. It configured the primary color scheme, making the deep blue and the default for interactive element like button and focus text field. Then line 24 to 27, it set the default style for all app bar widget to use the deep blue background with the white foreground text, ensuring brand continuity. Today we jump into login screen state and structure, login plate class. In line number 36 to 37, it declared the screen as a stateful widget, which is required to manage the changing user input and the dynamic name nama text. After that, we have final username, line number 43 to 46. It initializes text editing controller object. These are crucial for actively reading and managing the data entered by the user into the representative input field. Okay, after we have string name nama for line 48. The state variable that holds the student information, which is my information, and which is dynamically updated when the button is pressed. Okay, we jump into final primary color line number 52. It retrieves the global primary color dynamically within the widget build context, allowing local widget to adhere to the global theme. We jump into return scaffold line number 54, which is providing the skeletal structure of the page, which is app bar and body content. And then the last one is line number 62, single child scroll view. It's essential for responsive design, allowing the screen to scroll vertically when the contents exceed the screen height, preventing pixel overflow, especially when the keyboard is active. Okay, uh, on the third part, we have content and interaction. Here we jump into the line number 67, image asset. It displays the ITPLN logo, which must be registered in the pubspec YAML file. Okay, for inputting the picture or the logo, first we need to make this folder over here. How? We press on here and then new folder, and then we name it asset, and then we put the logo on the asset folder. After that, we jump into the pubspec file, and then we search for use material design through, and then we add assets, main assets, and then we type main asset. Okay, after that we save and then go back to the main Dart. After that we input this asset logo.jpg to the name file. If not, the picture won't, or the logo wouldn't appear on the application. After that, we have text ITPLN text style. It displays the institution name, which is ITPLN style using the retrieve primary color. After that, we have line 83 to 83 to 87. Yeah, it defines the three input field, which is username, email, and password. They use the text editing controller for data binding. Okay, we jump into this is for the 83 to 93 is for the username, 95 to 105 is for the email, and then 107 to 118 is for the password. So that we in here we can see focus border. Focus border is for customize the field border to highlight with the deep blue primary color when the user is actively typing. Then we have elevated button. The login button, the on press property trigger the set state call to update the student information string. And then we have background color. Primary color is explicitly set the button background color to the deep blue, overriding any default M3 transparency and ensuring a solid button look. Okay. After that, we jump into the watermark over here. It's a final section displaying the static watermark and the dynamic name or nama text, which update based on the button press logic. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you for watching and see you next time.